This is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are dealing with the same topic that speaks about developing and nurturing the assertive self in you. Developing and nurturing that assertive self in you. And you need, as a young man, to become assertive. And assertiveness, we have said, is a skill that will open doors for you. It's a skill that will make you relate with people better. It's a skill that will make you actually gain out of other people. They will help you. They will be ready to help you when you are assertive enough with them. And that is why assertiveness becomes, therefore, a very good key for relationships. And I want to emphasize that you need to really relate with other people very, very cautiously by becoming assertive with them, because people respect people that are assertive. And it's very key that we emphasize that and say, remain assertive, develop that assertive self, and make sure that you also nurture it so that you can remain assertive at all times. How do you do that? Avoid criticism and blaming others or yourself. And this is very important because there are people that will criticize others and forever criticize people. Whatever they do, you criticize them. Remember, when you criticize people and they tend to come to know that to criticize them, you are actually animating them. You're actually making them that they become alienated to you. They become enemies to you because it's like talking bad and backbiting people. So therefore, it is very important that when you criticize people, you do what we call constructive criticism. And constructive criticism has got no fear to approach the individual that you're criticizing. Because that's very important, that you don't criticize people to other people. You criticize them directly to themselves, and in a constructive manner, of course, because there is a way of criticizing people constructively where they will embrace that criticism, which we call feedback. Remember, when you give people feedback, and we can call that constructive criticism, because when you give them feedback, you're giving them something to build on to make them better, something that they can look at and improve, something that they can look at and say, I want to develop myself in this area based on the feedback that I've been given. So therefore, don't go around criticizing people towards other people, or criticizing people with other people. Because when you do that, you're basically gossiping about these people. And as I said, it is going to turn around and reach the people that you're criticizing behind their back. So let them know how you feel. Let people know how you see things. And please explain to them that's how you see that. And people will take it positively, and it will help them to develop and become better people instead of criticizing them to destroy them. Remember also that there is this tendency of developing a spirit of blaming others. And as a young man, this is a spirit that I want to warn you against, that don't learn or don't develop a spirit of blaming others, because that is a spirit of irresponsibility. Many of our young men that don't want to take responsibility, they will always blame others for their mistakes. They will blame others for what they've done and their wrongs that they've done. They will blame others for their lack of success in their lives. They will blame others for their failures in life. And when you do that, you will not ever, by any chance, take responsibility. Because people that blame others, they are actually running away from responsibility. And as a young man, I want to urge you that you learn to take responsibility of everything that you do. Take responsibility of even your mistakes. And that's the only way you're going to become a better young man. And you're going to become an extraordinary young man when each and every mistake, you embrace it and be able to accept and don't blame others for your mistakes. And we've seen young men that will say, I'm like this because of my parents. I'm like this because of my brothers and my sisters didn't do that for me. I'm like this because my boss at work hates me. I'm like this because there are witches that are bewitching me. So all that is a hogwash of blaming others when you're supposed to point a finger at yourself. Now, when you start to develop a spirit of pointing a finger away from you, you are running away from responsibility. And as a young man, you are actually on a trend of falling because you are going to miss to correct yourself. A young man who blames others will never find a reason to correct themselves. A young man that blames others will never find a reason to self-correct and become a better person, because we improve only when we see the mistakes that we've done and point a finger at ourselves, and therefore learn to turn around and develop and become better people. And that I want to emphasize to you as a young man, that learn not to blame others. Now, there's another element of blaming whereby there are other young men that will blame themselves quite a lot, to an extent that they condemn themselves. And I want to urge you that there are times when you cannot blame yourself, because a mistake happens to everybody. And therefore, as you've done or committed a mistake, don't blame yourself to an extent that you condemn yourself. And there are people that blame themselves for everything, even those things that it is not your fault, but you blame yourself. And because you blame yourself for almost everything, you're condemning yourself, you're killing your own confidence. And that is why young men like that, they don't develop assertiveness, because you are actually killing your own confidence by blaming yourself for everything. And I want to urge you as a young man, be confident, rise up, put your head up, and don't blame yourself for everything. There are things that happen because they were going to happen anyway. There are times when somebody or a loved one dies and you start putting a blame on yourself. Please don't do, because by so doing as a young man, you're not assertive enough. You are actually killing your own confidence. And therefore, when your confidence is gone, you cannot be assertive at all. So I want to urge you not to blame yourself unnecessarily as well as a young man. Secondly, don't agree with someone verbally when you don't agree with them, or when you disagree with their opinion. Be honest, because there are times when we agree with people just to please them. Now, don't live a life of trying to please people. You cannot please everybody in this world. Assertive people are able to stand firm and don't be afraid of disappointing people. Assertive people are able to say no and disappoint a lot of people. And that is why, as a young man, you'll realize that the so-called peer pressure is actually a fallacy of people that are not assertive enough. Because when you are assertive, you cannot bow to peer pressure. You'll be able to stand on your own and say, no, I cannot do that. No, I cannot go there. No, I cannot speak that. So I cannot do some things in my life. And you can do some of the things in your life, but it must be things that you make a choice of doing, not because you've been pressurized to do them and you say it's peer pressure. Now, sometimes there are people that are being coerced in doing things that they don't like. Now, assertiveness says you need, as a young man, to rise and say no to no and yes to yes only. And that's the only way you're going to survive and become assertive. And when you do that, you're going to be able to do things in a proper manner. Don't agree with people just verbally, while you don't agree with them inside, because you can know when your heart doesn't agree with what they're saying. Please tell them in the face and tell them, this I don't agree with. And tell them in the face and say, this I cannot align myself with because I don't agree with it. So please be clear. Let people know what you believe in. Let people know what you don't believe in. Let people know what you want and what you don't want in life. Because assertive people are able to clarify to people what they like and what they don't like. People that are assertive, they are able to expose themselves and say, this is me, and this is what I want, and this is what I don't want. And I cannot do that just because I'm pleasing you. Because people that are assertive are not living a life of pleasing people just to please people. So please, don't do things just to please people. As a young man, don't agree with someone verbally when you don't agree with them. Disagree with their opinion. Please make sure that you don't agree with the opinion that you don't that you disagree with. So this is very, very important. But be honest, because if you're not honest to the people, you're not honest to yourself as well. And that is why some of the young men, they're feeling bad and they're forever living in the world of regret, because you've never been able to open up and say no to no and yes to yes. And as a result, therefore, you are condemned in your life, or you're condemning yourself, and you are at a point where you don't know what to do anymore because you're feeling bad about everything that you've done. So please, make sure that you're honest and make sure that you are assertive enough. You're speaking clearly what your mind is all about and what you believe in, and let people know that so that they can either follow or not follow. That's very important. Finally, be respectful of others and their opinion as well. And that's being assertive as well, whereby people's opinions are their opinion. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are taking that opinion, but no, respect the people, even though you don't agree with their opinion, but be respectful in your approach. Please approach people respectfully. It is a principle of sowing and reaping. If you respect people, you will reap respect as well. People will respect you as well. Please, when people are having opinions of their own, we have explained it in the past as well, respect their opinions. Their opinions are their opinions. They cannot be imposed to you. You cannot impose your opinions to other people as well. Respect their opinion and respect the people as well. Every time, by your speech, by your approach, by your behavior towards them as well, please be respectful to others. I want to end up here today. Your host, Micornus Phokane. Thank you very much for listening to us and being part of this great topic. Of course, we are Young Men Empowerment Forum. We're empowering young men, and we're making sure that we're developing ordinary young men into extraordinary men through wisdom, of course, and the wisdom principles. So please listen to this as we continue teaching. Our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane, our Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum. We post there. Please like those pages as well. Make sure that you click notification buttons. You are notified when we've posted material of this type. And therefore, you are going to be part of our teachings going forward. Don't forget our YouTube channel under Micornus Phokane. Google us under Micornus Phokane. A lot of videos that we posted in the past that will help you, that will deliver you as a young man. It will make you a very extraordinary young man who is successful in everything that you're doing. Allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.